You don't smell very good right now. Luckily for you, you're in the right place now. Before you sample any of these wonderful fragrances I have here, however, we're going to have to get you in a shower. But today must just be your lucky day, because to that door to your left, there's a shower in there. So please go in, take your time, get fresh, and I'll see you on the other side. Someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey man, you smell really nice." Now you start to blush, you go red, you start to sweat, your knees are weak, your arms are sweaty, and you look down and you see vomit on your mom's spaghetti. Yes, this bottle too is a fingerprint magnet, but luckily tissues exist. You like to be smelt before you even walked in through the door? This is your boy, Eau de Toilette. Oh, yes. That's some good shit. And certain fragrances you might want to wear to the club. Now, obviously, if you can still go to the club, if you're in a country where clubs are still open, like London and America, this fragrance will be perfect for you. But if you're in a country like Australia, New Zealand, where, clubs are closed, that's tough. Very nice bottle, looks like a grenade. Literally has a pin you can pull and fire, Anyway, this is what you want to wear to impress everyone, literally. Your dogs, your cats. I wore this one day and a beetle, it was like this big, followed me home. The atomizer. Very strong. I do not recommend wearing this in the summer. You will not get away with it. Wow, it looks really nice, doesn't it? I'm just admiring the artwork and the technology behind the bottles. And last but not least, the fragrance with the least amount of juice left in the bottle, in my collection anyway. As you can see, there's literally 3 sprays left. One thing that is annoying about this fragrance is the atomizer is not the best. Okay, so I just told you that this fragrance is literally running low, and you just saw how much is in there. Why did I spray so much? I'm serious. Do you know why I spray so much? Why would I do that? Welcome back. May I say that you smell very plain. You smell a lot better than you did when you walked in, but very plain, very default. What we're going to do is we're going to try to find you a very nice fragrance for you to take along with you, and then you'll be smelling like heaven. Now, my first question for you today is, what do you know about fragrances? Not much, huh? Well, I happen to know quite a bit about fragrances, and I'm going to teach you as much as I can in however long this video takes. The first thing that you should know about fragrances is fragrances are very good. They're very good conversation starter. They boost your self-esteem, the compliments that you get, how you feel when you wear certain fragrances, certain brands, certain scents with certain notes and certain accords. And yes, I was saying about the conversation starters. You walk into an office, you walk into a room, you walk into the club. Someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey man, you smell really nice." Now, you start to blush, you go red, you start to sweat, your knees are weak, your arms are sweaty, and you look down and you see vomit on your mom's spaghetti. That's how fragrances can make you feel. That's how they can work. Now, since you know nothing about fragrances, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just show you a bunch of fragrances that I own myself personally at home, in my home collection. And fragrances that have worked for me in terms of compliments and boosting my self-esteem and just overall smelling quite nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to get you to pick one. Since you know nothing about fragrances, let me start you off with something very... What should I start with? Let's start with a fan favorite. Now, in the fragrance community, this fragrance right here is literally a god. This fragrance has been dominating the fragrance industry and the nostrils of mankind for about 7 years now, and it is still going strong. This fragrance right here is called Dior Sauvage. I bet you've probably heard about this fragrance before. It wouldn't be surprising. Now I'm going to show you this bottle up close. I'm going to bring it close to your face. Pause. Don't get any ideas. Just admire and appreciate the bottle. Okay? Now, unfortunately, yes, this bottle is indeed a fingerprint magnet. But it is a nice bottle. It has a very nice magnetic, magnetic cap. And this thing on the top here is called an atomizer. Now we're going to look at wow, that smells very nice. Now we're going to look at the distribution of the spray. Ready? The atomizer on this Dior Sauvage is very, very good. Gets out a nice range, gets out a nice amount of juice. One thing you should know about fragrances in general is they are what we like to call seasonal. There are 4 seasons: winter, summer, spring, and autumn or fall. And in these seasons, certain fragrances work way better, much better than others, okay? Dior Sauvage, all round. You can wear this in the winter when it's really cold because it's very strong. You can wear this in the summer, but go lighter in the summer. The pink pepper in this fragrance, one of the notes in this fragrance, can be very, very overwhelming. At times, very suffocating. And in the spring and the fall, you're also in the clear. This is a very, very huge fan favorite. The ladies and the lads alike love it very dearly. Now, the best way to test a fragrance to see if it's, if you like it, the best way to spray a fragrance, well, there are pretty much 2 ways. I would say 3 ways. The first way is on a strip of paper. You get a test strip. It's normally like a cardboard paper. And you spray the fragrance, you bring it to your nose, and you inhale. The second way, of course, is on your skin. And the third way, of course, is in the air. You like to know what your fragrance will smell like if you were in a room and it was filling up the room with fragrance. About the skin, now a lot of people believe that your skin chemistry is very important, and it is. They believe it's very important in fragrances. Some people spray fragrances on their skin and it smells very strange, and then someone else can spray that same fragrance on their skin and it smells very nice. Please don't use this as a deterrent. If you don't like what it smells like on your skin, just spray it on your clothes. Fragrances last longer on your clothes than your skin anyway, so you're in the clear. The next fragrance I have right here is another crowd favorite. It's a very well known fragrance. It is not by the brand Dior, Christian Dior, but it is by the brand Versace. And this fragrance is called Dylan Blue. Yes, the bottle is very, very blue. Again, I'm going to bring it close to your face, pause, and just observe the beauty of this bottle. Yes, this bottle too is a fingerprint magnet, but luckily tissues exist. Nice golden cap, nice golden Versace emblem, and an overall nice bottle. Check out the spray. Wonderful. Dylan Blue, like I mentioned about Dior Sauvage, Dylan Blue I believe can be worn in any situation. Winter, this will work for you. In the summer, this will definitely work for you. And of course, autumn and spring, simple. Versace Dylan Blue has I would call it a flanker. A flanker is basically in the series, in the line of this fragrance. A similar fragrance in this fragrance line would be called a flanker. For instance, Dior Sauvage, this concentration is the EDT, Eau de Toilette. Very, not light, but it's not as strong as something like an EDP, Eau de Parfum, right? And the other flanker for Dior Sauvage would be the Parfum, which is, whatever. And they have a new one called Elixir. I'm going to hold my review on Elixir for another day. But back to Versace. This is indeed a huge compliment getter. Some people, funnily enough, find this fragrance very polarizing. You either like it or you do not. Me, I won't even lie to you. It's not a fragrance that I reach for, but it's in my collection. Now, sticking on the line of Versace, and also building on what we were talking about seasonal fragrances. Fragrances also have a occasional bias. What I mean by that is certain fragrances you would want to wear to the gym, certain fragrances you would want to wear to work, the office, and certain fragrances you might want to wear to the club. Now obviously if you can still go to the club, if you're in a country where clubs are still open, like London and America, this fragrance will be perfect for you. But if you're in a country like Australia, New Zealand, where clubs are closed, that's tough. The fragrance I'm referring to is, of course, Versace Eros. The bottle, I guess it's not a fingerprint magnet, but it is very nice. The Versace emblem is embroidered. Very nice. The cap is still, of course, golden. Very nice. The atomizer is great. Oh, yes. That's some good shit. This fragrance right here is a clubbing fragrance. Now, I would describe it as obnoxious, but obnoxious in a good way. If you're one of those people that like to be smelt before you even welcomed yourself, you like to be smelt before you even walked in through the door, this is your boy. The fragrance is very loud, very playful. The scent is very crowd pleasing, very enjoyable, very addictive. Smells very, very addictive. This fragrance right here has brought me many memories. As you can see, it's a new bottle. I've been through around 2 of these bottles myself, so as you can tell, it's one of my favorites. But this fragrance right here is a very, very easy reach. But like I said, it is obnoxious, so it may not be very suitable for somewhere like an office, somewhere very sophisticated. If you're over the age of 45, this might not be for you. This is very playful, very youthful. If you're a college student, fucking perfect. This is what you want to wear to impress everyone, literally. Your dogs, your cats. I wore this one day and a beetle, it was like this big, followed me home. I kid you not, I went to the park and a beetle followed me home. I guess the beetle likes the smell of Versace Eros. I have a feeling at the end of this appointment, what is this? What are we doing here? At the end of this, you'll probably be taking this home. This fragrance right here is called Spicebomb by Victor and Rolf. Now, you might be familiar with Spicebomb Extreme, a flanker in the series of Spicebomb. But this is the original, and the original is very, very nice. I mean, it's where the DNA came from. It's what started it all off. I was talking to you about seasonal wear. This fragrance right here, I would only recommend to wear in the winter. Very nice bottle, looks like a grenade. Literally has a pin you can pull and fire, you know. Anyway, the atomizer. Very strong. I do not recommend wearing this in the summer. You will not get away with it. The fragrance is too strong, it's too overpowering for yours and everyone's nostrils. Trust me, winter only. Cut through that very cold and sharp cold. I wish I did have a bottle of the extreme version for you so you can test them both. Unfortunately, I do not. But if you come back, maybe say next week, I may be able to order you a bottle. Would you like that? Next week it is. Speaking of flankers, Versace Eros Flame. This little bad boy right here is one of my favorites. Again, the gold cap, sticking with it, being consistent. The gold atomizer. Oh man. Now, this shares very similar DNA to its brother, but they are not the same. A lot of people cannot pull this off, but if you can, if you're one of those people, consider yourself lucky, because this is a banger. If you couldn't tell, the bottle, yes, is indeed red, and this bottle is indeed blue. It's kind of like, wow, it looks really nice, doesn't it? I'm just admiring the artwork and the technology behind the bottles. This is in the 30 milliliter size, available in bigger sizes, similar to the 100 milliliters. But this can fit in your pocket whenever you need to re-up on a fragrance. Pocket fragrances are perfect. You can't get away with 100 milliliters of fragrance in your pocket now, let's be serious. This, perfect. For all the fragrances that I've mentioned so far, in terms of longevity and projection, so how much the fragrance projects, so if someone will sing across the hall, if they can smell you or not, excellent. It lasts, all these fragrances last for at least 6 hours on your skin and project for at least 2 hours. Standard stuff. This is a beast. This is a beast. You spray this on your clothes 2 days later, well, if you haven't washed the clothes, this will still be on them. Hugo Boss Bottled Intense. As you can see, I've gone through quite a bit of it. This is the famous apple pie fragrance. It has a note of apple in here, and people believe that this fragrance right here smells like a hot apple pie. Do I agree? Yes, very nice, sophisticated fragrance. This is very warm. In the winter, this will benefit you a lot. I don't know about summer. Me personally, I haven't tested it. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Summer is for fresher fragrances, more crowd-pleasing fragrances. Fresh in the summer. This right here seems like a winter gem. It's a cheapie, very cheap. All the fragrances I've shown you so far are relatively expensive. They're all designer fragrances, so they're, you know, that mid-range, that midpoint in terms of price. It's also a designer fragrance, but it's cheap. It's cheapy. You can get this 100ml bottle for around £36. I bought mine years ago, and I think I paid £34, but you know, inflation. You wear this to an office. You wear this for your, how do I say, Netflix and chill sessions. Thank me later. Another clubbing fragrance right here. This is called Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. It's spelt male, but I believe it's male. Anyway, what the fuck? As you can see, if you can see, there's literally only a little bit left. That's how you know that it's some good shit. It's got the very iconic bottle of a torso of a man, right? Does it smell like a man? Does this particular fragrance smell very manly? No, because I think this fragrance can actually be pulled off by just about anyone. This, along with Versace Eros, is another clubbing fragrance. Very obnoxious, very loud, very nice. The fragrance is very, very playful, very addictive, very sweet. This Versace Eros, to a certain extent, I'd say Versace Eros Flame, sweet fragrances. This is very, very sweet. So if you're not a fan of sweet fragrances, this should be nowhere near you. Okay? Now, me personally, I've had some experiences with this fragrance. As you can see, like I said, it's almost finished. I might need to re-up on this bad boy, but I've had some experiences with this. All pleasant, all memorable, and all ultra. Another cheapie. This fragrance right here is called Rich Warm Addictive from the Tobacco Collection at a place called Zara. Now, if you live in a country where you don't have a Zara, well, that's unfortunate, because Zara sells some really underrated gems of fragrances. Again, another winter fragrance, very, very sweet. So if you don't like sweet fragrances, this may not be for you. But if you do like tobacco fragrances, then you're going to enjoy this. As you can tell by the bottle, I've been through a fair amount of it as well. That just shows it's good. It's very nice. It's very, very warm, rich, addictive. You've probably seen this before. Your father has probably worn this around you before. This fragrance, Davidoff Cool Water, is very, very old. I remember I was in year 9. That's like 14 years old, like around 8 years ago, 9 years ago, even 10 years ago. Shit, I'm getting old. But I remember smelling this in class. Very, very, very old, but very good. Again, another cheapie. This is a fresh fragrance, an example of a fresh fragrance. A summer beast, compliment monster. You put this on in the summer. I mean, it's a very safe fragrance, so you won't smell bad. You will smell nice. And last but not least, the fragrance with the least amount of juice left in the bottle, in my collection anyway. As you can see, there's like literally 3 sprays left. Coach for Men. This is another example of a fresh fragrance, and boy, is it nice. One thing that is annoying about this fragrance is the atomizer is not the best. Okay, so I just told you that this fragrance is literally running low, and you just saw how much is in there. Why did I spray so much? I mean, like, I'm serious. Do you know why I spray so much? Why would I do that? Anyway, this fragrance is very, very nice. This Compliment Monster, it's safe, it's very safe. It's not polarizing. A lot of people like it. You can get away with it without offending many people. You can wear this on a flight, to work, to the gym, wherever you want. Coach for Men is nice. So I think in total I just showed you 10 fragrances. I still have like a bunch over there, but maybe another day. But which fragrances do you like out of all of these? Versace Eros, right? Yes. Indeed, very, very nice. Dior Sauvage. I agree. Crowd pleaser. Beast. Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramar. You are going to go for 2 clubbing fragrances. I mean, if you want to start a collection like mine, I think you should diversify your portfolio. Like, this is cryptocurrency and we're trading. You should diversify. You already have your clubbing fragrance. If you wanted an Eros, you already have your clubbing fragrance down packed. So you don't really need an Ultramar just yet. Maybe you might want to get a Spicebomb for the winter, and your Sauvage can be worn whenever, summer, winter, for any occasion. You have your special occasion clubbing fragrance, and then you have a nice warm winter cuddle fragrance, to spend however much you're going to spend on free fragrances. I think that's a good selection. But anyway, like I said at the beginning of this appointment, I'm going to call it a video because that's exactly what this is. I told you that you're going to be smelling a lot better. Me personally, you guys don't know it, but I'm dying because there's too many fragrances in the air right now, and when this camera cuts off, mate. But you did make 3 very good choices, and I can promise you that you're going to smell very nice.